It's Friday, March 22nd. Cathy, what's on the show today?
Oh my gosh, we've got a studio full of guests. Mm-hmm. We have is he the first man of Frankfurt?
I think so.
He's the mayor.
Yeah.
So then I don't know. We've got one of our favorite guests too from Josephine Sculpture Park. Should we leave it as a surprise who it is?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a haircut.
Oh, you got a haircut?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I give them myself. So
I know you do.
I sort of got a haircut. Secrets. Yeah. But yeah, let's start the show.
Around 10 is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. You need realtors who can help navigate the current fast-paced real estate market, so choose local realtors that treat you like family, because real estate is what they do and families are why they do it.
Good morning, everybody. Good start. Good morning, everybody.
You're a little flustered.
Yeah, I am. I'm kind of sped up this morning. I want to get through things, so slow down. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Welcome to another episode of Around 10, Frankfurt's Morning Show. I'm Scott Stafford. That's Cathy Lindsay. There was a basketball game last night. We're going to talk about it. I feel like we need to talk about it. I feel like the people of Frankfurt probably have a lot to say about it this morning, so we're going to get to it. In lieu of a question of the day, we're letting you all go ahead and start pumping in your thoughts. Anything you want to say, anything that's on your mind, you say not anything. But, yeah, send them in. On the Facebook, we've got the comments open. Hit us. If you don't have Facebook, no problem. Send it into the text machine. Send your thoughts, 353-0233. Just pull out your phone and text us there. I will see it. I've got the text machine up and running right beside me. But we're going to let you all start sending those in. We're going to talk about it in detail, and whether anybody wants to or not, that's what we're going to do.
Can't wait.
I think.
I'm going to say, first of all, you're obviously very flustered.
Yeah, but
second, be nice in these comments.
Don't go crazy. It's TV. If
If
it's too mean, we won't read it.
Yeah.
Just temper it. But I want to hear
maybe constructive criticism.
But if you're upset, you're upset. Just watch your language, and we'll take the negative and the positive.
I mean, I heard all of it from my husband last night, and it wasn't fit for TV.
Okay. All right. So maybe you can give us a little bit of that. But we've got two guests in the studio, and one of them is the mayor, and I think we should go ahead and bring him in.
All right, well, come on.
Hey, we're back.
We're here.
And I think the mayor is with us as well.
Somewhere.
There he is.
Oh, look,
good morning.
Going on here.
So, good morning.
Good morning.
Mayor, we're not going to make you talk about basketball. You can if you want, but I've got normally. Would you want to talk about it?
I will just say this is the morning after, and so it's still tough because this seemed like the team that could do it, and that's what's disappointing. This one feels different.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough. I love March Madness, but when Kentucky loses first round, it does make it a little more difficult to watch.
The sad thing is we're getting a little bit used to it. But yeah, it's so hard going out in the first weekend because you got to deal with the rest of the tournament. And normally we love the whole thing, and now you're out, and I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have to deal with the rest of the tournament.
Right. And it's brutal when you love that sporting event so much, and then you're not taking part of it. Okay, enough. I got a little warm-up question for the mayor since we're not doing a question of the day.
Okay.
Mayor, yesterday the news was that Apple is getting hit with an antitrust lawsuit. We're not going to go into it big. I got one small question for you. Would you make Apple send blue text to Androids if you could? Do you think they should?
Blue text to Androids?
Right, because they, only the iPhones get the blue.
If I could, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Is that a softball question? That's a tough question. So, if I could, then I would say yes, without much background to base that decision on.
They screw the whole thing up. If you got an Android person in your group text, it's just a nightmare.
I see.
And then sometimes it doesn't reply all if it's
Right.
in a group, and then there's,
see.
yeah.
Because it's a different type of encoded message.
is.
The green ones are SMS texts,
Right.
and they're like, why don't you just send the blue ones to, so that's
I'm like,
part
why
of
don't you
it.
just get an iPhone?
Well, I wish that were.
And that's the point.
If that were in the mayor's purview, I would address that. That's-
Yeah, not so much.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to let you all talk grown-up talk now.
Oh, okay. Well, hello over there.
Hi. I love the new setup in the studio.
Oh, okay.
And it's always great to be back, and particularly on a Friday. And,
Always, yeah.
And even though Kentucky's out of March Madness, it does. I'm sure I'll watch some college basketball this
I
weekend.
mean, there are 2 other Kentucky teams, right?
Yeah, Western Kentucky plays
Morehead
this
Morehead is
afternoon.
out, right?
Oh, did Morehead lose?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we still have Western Kentucky in the mix.
Yes.
And that's possible.
So we can pull for Western, right, Scott?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm a hilltopper, so
Oh, you are? Well, good.
Yes, I
Well, there we
can.
go.
And
Okay.
I should.
Well, first of all, I'll say you and I were busy last night, so we missed part of the game.
That's true.
Because we were here with Together Frankfurt for their Civics 101 series. So can you just talk a little bit about that and why it's important to get involved in groups like that.
I was happy to participate, and Together Frankfurt, they're having a monthly series, a Civics 101 series, as they're calling it, and both the county judge and I participated to talk about the structure of city and county governments, the makeup of the boards and commissions, and what those boards do. And then it turned into a little Q&A because you had city, the mayor, and the county judge there. So
Got 'em right there, full attention.
So lots of questions, and actually that was our second meeting with a group of citizens in the community room at the plant board yesterday. So
yeah,
we
it was
had
a
a
big
busy day. But it was a great event, and we look forward to doing more. And I should give a shout out today to the county judge. Today's his birthday, so happy birthday!
It is. I saw that. Well, happy birthday to Judge Moeller. I'm sure he'll celebrate this weekend.
And a couple of things that we talked about was one of the things was we had a big development last week. We had an announcement that the Home Street grant that we applied for, and what it is, it's a Reconnecting Neighborhoods and Communities grant that we applied for. We were successful, and that's an award of over $20 million. And
that's amazing.
If you factor in the city match, which includes some of the plant board is contributing to that as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be a $28 million project or so, and it's stacking on to other announcements that have been made and other grants that we've applied for. So if you take it all in, I think that, along with others, we're talking upwards of $300 million that could be flowing into Frankfurt over the next few years. So we're working to get these big investments to bolster the private investment that's already happening, particularly in the downtown area. We're starting to see New Life, St. Clair, Broadway, and Main Street. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's at least 12 new businesses.
It's crazy.
That have opened up downtown in the past year.
Yes.
And based on my count.
I saw some stuff on Facebook of some South Frankfurt kids who grew up here have moved away and then we're back for last weekend. And were posted about, oh my gosh, what's happened to downtown Frankfurt? It's amazing. So, I mean, just people who grew up here and then come back and see what a great place it is to be downtown, and just, again, the thriving businesses. So I was pretty proud of that.
There's a lot of work we still need to do, and but we do think we're at a tipping point, and but we need to make sure that we don't go. We need to make sure that the housing is still there. We need to make sure that the tourism, the people have a place to stay, but also we need the long-term residents to not get priced out if things get too hot in downtown Frankfurt. We're not there yet, if you ask me, but there's some things that we're trying to get these big investments in infrastructure and like the riverfront development. We're also applying for grant funds.
I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that.
Well, it's a step-by-step process. First thing we had to do was get control over some of the properties, which we did last year. We picked up a couple of properties from the state, and then we bought one on the private market. But now we have to apply for grants to stabilize the riverbank because we can't really build on the riverbank.
If it's just going to slide into the river.
Right. We need to be able to make sure
bueno.
Not good.
So back to the Home Street thing real quick. So with that big infusion of money, What should folks expect to see happening on Home Street?
So it'll be similar to what we did on 2nd Street with the Tiger Grant, and that was to really redo the infrastructure below the ground, which is important. You can't see that, but above the ground, it'll improve the accessibility and the safety and for the pedestrians and for the businesses in that area. The sidewalks will be remade. You'll see the streetscape change with landscaping like trees, and then burying the power lines, which I know is somebody brought up in one of our meetings yesterday that we should look at burying our power lines. Well, that's part of this project. It was part of the 2nd Street.
Tell them how expensive that is.
Well, I know the plant board has told me how expensive it is before, but it is 2nd Street. We did it, and that was part of that grant. Home Street, we're going to do it there, and it's not going to cover the entire length of Home Street all the way from downtown to the Thornhill bypass, but it is going to get us a lot of the way because it is such a large project that we had to break it up into pieces.
So is there going to be an opportunity to incentivize new businesses to come to Home Street?
Well, I think this will help do that. I think once you see that the public investment gets made, I think the private investment will follow. And it is we've already seen a couple of businesses looking at Home Street. I think this will certainly help.
Yeah.
And but that's the secondary part of this economic development. But the main thing is improving the accessibility. Because if Frankfort downtown is going to grow, that's one area it will likely go because it's flat. And we need to do that investment now.
Need a good solid infrastructure there.
Right. We're building the foundation that we can build upon later.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that, and we're so happy about getting that money. I know Home Street is an area that the City Commission has been looking at for years to try to make improvements to. So the fact that we were able to get that grant now is great. So what else do we have going on? I know you talk a lot about bridges.
Well, there's the both downtown bridges. We have more than two, but the Singing Bridge, we are in the process of applying for a bridge investment program grant. So that would be there'd be some match to that, but we are working with the state so that the state would make that contribution for us. But if we're successful with that's a $10 million, and we're factoring in a contingency there, so up to $10 million to shore up that bridge to make it where we can have larger vehicles go across that and just make sure that it lasts another 100 years.
Right.
And then also the Broadway Bridge is still in the works. I know people ask me about that every once in a while. The state has committed funds, and the state is working on that now. The Department of Transportation, the city has committed funds, so that is still happening. But we're working with the state because the engineers have to do all that work.
And we're talking about making that a walking bridge, is that right?
A walking and pedestrian bridge to connect that'll in some ways be the the start of the Riverview Park, the reimagined Riverview Park. And
awesome.
That's again that along with the riverbank stabilization. We're trying to make these big investments so that we can activate the rest of the riverfront master plan.
I can't wait.
So we've got some things.
I like the
in
riverfront.
I think that's an area of focus going forward. The riverfront, the parks. We've also committed funds to invest in our park system, and we hope to do that this year. So that we've dedicated a funding source to issue a bond to make a large investment at once and not just do it over several years. We want to have a great impact now. And that's part of the park system, but you'll see other things in Capitol View and East Frankfort Park too.
I have a couple of questions that I'm not sure if they're not softball, but baseball question. I don't know. But so everybody sees that the YMCA is getting demolished, which is crazy. They, when they take half the wall out and you can see inside it and like still treadmills and stuff. It's like, woo. So what's happening there? And then what's the plan for that space?
Well, that is, now we're seeing that the dominoes fall on that whole development, parcels B and parcel C. Parcel B is where the Civic Center was. Parcel C is where the YMCA is and was. And I think what goes on that particular site will depend on what goes where the Civic Center is. Residential will be part of one or the other, maybe both. That's what we're being told now. And I think it depends on, the city is actively seeking funds to construct a new convention center.
Okay.
That the state capital needs a convention center. And we feel that this is a state project, and it needs to be funded primarily by the state. And we're willing to do our fair share, including building a parking structure and transit center on that site. But it depends on where that goes.
Yeah.
And I think that will determine where the residential goes. But right now that's in flux. But this was the next step. The parking structure is built, and once that's almost finished, then you see the YMCA come down. Next thing you'll see is Washington Street extended. So things are happening now, and it's starting to happen faster.
Okay. So there'll be plenty of room for a barcade?
Barcade is, somebody mentioned the barcade. And it wasn't on that site, but it was somewhere in the vicinity.
Okay.
So I think somebody out there is hearing your calls for a
Okay.
barcade.
Wow.
I will keep
And-
barking barcade.
No, somebody is talking
Okay.
about doing that.
Okay.
We'll talk
So
offline.
It's a
I'll
great
tell you about it.
idea.
Well, I know Versailles is getting a Chipotle.
Oh, yeah. Chipotle's his big thing.
Yeah.
And we hope to have new restaurants coming into the market. There's another, hopefully big announcements.
Everybody's
in
talking about First
April.
Watch.
First Watch is a big deal, and
Yeah.
that's
It's a big deal.
something. When we talk about new businesses, I talked about downtown new businesses, but you can't minimize the impact that Norton Healthcare.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Being open there and the First Watch coming, because you talk about an upgrade in property.
Yeah.
Right there is a good example. The people are starting to make investments in Frankfurt. I think that's a vote of confidence that Frankfurt is moving in the right direction.
Sure.
Norton Healthcare, to their credit, is investing over $12 million into that building that they don't
Yeah,
even
it's
own.
extremely nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they don't even own it.
They don't even own it.
Holy cow.
And all of the jobs that they're bringing, 17 new providers
Yeah.
into the market. And of course, the First Watch, I don't think that's a coincidence that they're coming at the same time. And there's another restaurant that is looking at that space as well. And that is independent of the road system that will be built around that.
Yeah.
That it will open up the rest of that area and enable the paddocks development to happen as well.
Okay.
So we're building that infrastructure out, and the city's already got a memorandum of understanding with the state on that. We've already pledged funds to the construction of that road. So that is in the works, and we hope to have a major announcement in the next month or two that I think people will be very excited about.
Okay. Awesome. I can't wait. I know we've had our eyes on what's going on out by the interstate and the paddocks. So everybody is like, okay, what's going to be there? What's going to be there? And I'm excited about what I've heard.
I've heard things too, and sometimes that's not well. And we'll see again. We'll see what happens, and I don't want to jinx
zipped.
anything.
I know I'm zipped on that because I don't want to jinx it either.
I need some tea. I need some tea to not hear on the show, but maybe
Okay.
after the show, I need a little birdies. Mayor, is there anything else pressing that you need to tell the people about? Or?
I know. I think that sharing the good news today, and this
Yeah.
is important. I think the city. I think we're well positioned, well managed. We've got a well thought out plan, and we're working it. And I think people are starting to see the fruits of the labor. And I think we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Well,
So now's the time to be optimistic in Frankfurt.
Thank you for
I'm
bringing
totally
some good
optimistic.
news this morning. We needed
yes.
it.
Scott needs the good
Yeah.
news.
There's more to life than basketball after all.
That's right. And I just want to say, just thank you so much for your ongoing support of the Frankfurt Plant Board. We appreciate you came out to see all of our employees out at the service center earlier this week, just to give them, your show of support and to thank them for what they do for our community every day. And they really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And we've just been very glad to have you as our mayor and to have your support because
Thank
it's
you.
very important
No,
for this community.
It's important that they hear from me directly and everyone hear from me directly that we support the Frankfurt Plant Board. And don't mess with success is what I say.
I like it. And we're just going to continue to be successful because as this community, grows, so does the plant board.
Right.
That means more customers for us, and that we'll be able to do more things to serve this community. So working together, I think we're going to do great things.
Let's keep up the good work.
Okay.
Mayor, thank you for coming in. Kathy, right now we're going to check in on weather, see what Dylan Goday has in store for us.
I don't believe Dylan anymore.
We've got another guest here. We still have to talk, let the demons out, and for basketball, all that.
Can't wait.
Let's check in with weather.
Good morning, friends in Franklin County. Thank you for tuning in to Around 10. I'm ABC 36 Storm Team meteorologist Dylan Goday. Maybe I can speak on this Friday morning. If I can, here's a look at 3 things you need to know weather-wise. We'll be tracking some rain showers today. Nothing too heavy anticipated, increasing in likelihood as you head into the afternoon and evening hours. Maybe some lingering rain showers early in the day on Saturday, but the rest of the weekend actually looking pretty nice, especially on Sunday. Looking like a beautiful day there. And then we are tracking, unfortunately, some active weather for next week, especially Tuesday into Wednesday, and then another system looks likely by the end of next week. Here's a look at Futurecast today, though. We've got some lingering rain, some early morning rain showers. It's going to be light. That'll be lasting through the midday. Notice how we see temperatures trying to spike even into the mid to upper 60s. I think it'll be tough to reach that number. By around 10, 11 o'clock, as the front begins to push through, we'll see kind of the last gasp of the showers, maybe a little bit of a mist or drizzle to begin the day tomorrow. But we dry out into the afternoon. Notice that pretty strong north or northeasterly, northerly breeze that'll be keeping our temperatures into the low 50s, likely a little bit of a wind chill, but it's going to be pretty strong, I think. Wind gusts tomorrow could be topping out around 30, 35 miles per hour. Sunday morning going to be a cold start to the day, and then we'll try to warm up into the mid to upper 50s by the end of the weekend. Today, though, mostly cloudy, scattered rain showers, not a washout of a day. When it's not raining, it will be pretty mild this afternoon as well. Tonight, we're going to fall into the mid to upper 30s, mostly cloudy, some lingering rain showers around, but again, most of that rain is going to be early in the overnight, drier by the time tomorrow morning rolls around, drier to end your weekend as well. Our go day, that's set for Monday, going to be breezy, warm, but that's going to fuel some showers and some thunderstorms that return to the forecast on Tuesday.
Warming back up a little bit. Those lows are raising. The highs are raising a little bit. Go day Monday.
Go day Monday.
All right. Jeri Catherine Howell's here.
Look who's here.
Good morning.
Good morning. So you're the assistant director for the Josephine Sculpture Park, and you're here to tell us about their member party.
Yes, I am. So March is membership month at Josephine Sculpture Park, which for those who are not familiar with JSP, we are a 40-acre sculpture park in Franklin County that's free and open to the public every single day of the year. We have 2 miles of trails, over 80 artworks that you can interact with in very fun ways. You can touch all of the sculptures. Some of them you can climb on. Some of them you can paint. Well, one of them you can paint on, the one
Okay.
right there in that photo.
Okay.
So our membership month is one incredible way that folks in the community can help us keep the park free and open every day for our entire community as well as for folks visiting our community. And one way that we thank our members is by hosting a member party.
Okay.
So it's our 15th anniversary this year. We're 15 years old. It's a
Wow.
big deal.
It is a big deal.
And we wanted our member party to be really special this year. So we have partnered with Ben Solee, who's an amazing person in general,
Nice.
an amazing person for the state of Kentucky, and an incredible musician. He's a cellist, storyteller, and he'll be performing an intimate show in our event barn for our members. And not only will Ben be performing a concert, our member party will also feature free art activities. We'll also have some awesome self-guided activities, like you can spray paint on the sculpture, Graphology Hinge by Peyton Scott Russell. We'll provide those supplies for you.
Nice. Okay.
We'll have big yard games, thanks to Paul Sawyer Public Library. Express Credit Union's going to be out there. We'll have Community Q food truck out there. So it's a big day,
Okay.
and that is Sunday, April 7th, from 2 to 6 p.m.
So doing this for the members. If I were to become a member, right now, could I come to the party on April 7th?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You could. Yeah. So if you're interested in becoming a member and supporting keeping the park free and open every day, you can go to josephinesculpturepark.org/membership.
Okay.
And sign up for whatever membership level makes sense to you. They start at $25, and all memberships have the same perks. So you'll get a thank you letter from all of our staff. You'll get an amazing hand-printed bookmark by Joanne Price, which that was one of the photos you all showed earlier, as well as a JSP sticker, access to the member party, which is Sunday, April 7th, as well as 3 other events later in the year.
Oh, cool.
So membership is, we love our members, we want to support you and thank you, and this is how we're doing it. So you can join at josephinesculpturepark.org, and then you'll immediately get registration instructions for how to register for the member party. If you're not an internet person, if you don't want to go on the website and join, just give us a call at the park number, which is 502-352-7082, and we'll help you out.
Jeri, so you're open every day of the year, free.
Yes.
How do I break that feeling of just pulling in there at any time and like not feeling like I'm trespassing? Because like that's, to me, it's amazing that you all are open all the time and you just go, and I don't have to pay anybody. I just show up and I start wandering around. But like there's something in the back of my head is like, am I supposed to be here? You don't have to. If you pull in, where do you park?
Sure.
And
Sure. So if you come visit the park, our address is 3355 Lawrenceburg Road. So you pull in off of Lawrenceburg Road.
where there's a big arrow.
Yep, there's
Yeah,
a big
big
arrow.
sculpture.
There's a Josephine Sculpture Park sign. We've got a JSP flag waving, and you'll pull into our main driveway. And JSP is a former family farm, so a lot of the infrastructure you'll see looks like a former family farm. And if you continue to follow the parking signs, which will direct you straight ahead, you'll come into our main gravel parking lot where there's our art barn that's saying, "Welcome to the JSP Art Barn." And we have a giant kiosk now. I don't know if you've seen that, but right off the main parking lot, there's a big kiosk with a map of the park showing you are here. And then there are brochures with maps to help you have a more guided experience
Yeah,
of the
because
park.
you can really go exploring.
Yeah.
Yes, 40 acres.
Don't
that
be
you can explore.
intimidated by the driveway feel.
Yeah, don't be intimidated.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It is okay. You're welcome. And think of us like any public park
Okay.
if you're going to come visit us. Come out and visit.
I have to ask now. This is a question I have to ask. Can I bring my puppy?
You, of course, can.
Okay.
The only thing that we ask is that you clean up after
Pick
your
up the
pet,
poo.
and you keep them on a leash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Sure.
Jeri, thanks for coming in. And again, the member party, April 7th, amazing. This kind of relationship you all have with Ben Solee, that he comes and he's just, he's a world-class musician. He's going to be there. It's just so cool, and how he's involved in Frankfurt. And can anybody expect maybe you to pick up a guitar at some point or no?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
You gotta
All
She's like,
become a member
I
and
won't
see.
count it out. So, are there different levels of membership?
Yes,
Okay,
there are.
okay.
They start
Did
at
we say that? Okay.
Yeah, the first level of membership is $25.
Okay.
There's also an option if you can't pay $25 right at the beginning, you can do it in installments if that makes more sense to you.
Okay.
And you can see all of those
website.
details at josephinesculpturepark.org/membership.
Gotcha.
Thanks for coming in, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. And we like to have you guys in, and because you got stuff going on all year round.
Yeah.
And,
We got the barn raising.
that's right.
You got
Coming up
the
in
symphonic
June.
stroll. There's all
Yes.
kind of stuff y'all like to come in and talk about, and
Yes.
we love talking about
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much.
Cathy, we've got a River Rats chats with Maddie Starkey. Amy Dungan is the athletic director at Frankfurt High, and she sat down with Maddie Starkey to discuss the upcoming Excel and Pep Weeks at Frankfurt Independent and the newest installment of River Rat Chats.
Hello everyone, welcome welcome back to River Rat Chats. Today I'm with Amy Duggan, who is the athletic director of Frankfort Independent Schools. So spring break's coming up, and that means PEP and Excel are also coming up. So can you explain a little bit of what those are?
Yes, absolutely. So our first week of break, March 25th through the 29th, next week, is Excel. And that is an opportunity for students to receive targeted instruction, kindergarten through 12th grade. Excel is invitation only. Those students in need were identified by teachers, and invitations have been sent to those families. PEP is the next week, April 1st through the 5th, and with PEP comes a lot of opportunities. For our elementary kids, we have a sports clinic where kids will get to explore different sports each day of the week. Those will be facilitated by our high school coaches and high school athletes. There's a drama option, crafts, art, football and soccer clinics, which will also both be led by our high school teams. There's a field trip opportunity where they will visit different locations each day. Hiking and horseback riding is new, and that's been very popular based on signups. We have a farm to table option that was very popular in the fall. That's a lot of fun. There's a new robotic coding option. Our IT director, Jonathan Jones, is leading that. There's a babysitting option where kids have the opportunity to become Red Cross Babysitter certified, and they also receive their CPR certification. There's a STEM offering. There's a game official certification offering where kids can become game officials. And then this goes into the high school option. So high schoolers also have the opportunity for babysitting. For game officials, there's a career exploration option where we're partnering with Frankfort Regional Medical Center. They're coming in to talk about healthcare careers and different options for students to receive scholarships. There's a lifeguard certification option, and then also a college visit option where they will visit 5 different colleges throughout the week.
Sounds like so much fun, and
Yeah.
these are great opportunities for both middle school, elementary, and high school students. So thank you, and make sure that your kids come out.
Yeah, get them signed up.
Cathy, Harvey's going to join us, I think, to talk basketball if he gets a chance. He's got important actual work to do. But
I've texted him, told him get down here.
but in the
Because
meantime,
I'm not doing this.
I figured you wouldn't want to. But in the meantime, what is Facebook saying? Do they have? We asked you all to just send any thoughts you had on UK getting bounced out of the tournament. What's Facebook
Well, I
saying?
have other comments that I
Okay.
guess I should have looked at while the mayor was here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But Leslie Smith is asking about repaving on Ann Street. Is that on the list? A nice city park with a walking path would be a nice addition to the Home Street area. Mm-hmm. Maybe in the area of the former scrap metal place.
Yeah.
David Hecker, whoo-wee. Disappointing season for UK, but I don't think Coach Calipari is going anywhere. Best scenario is that a couple of this year's freshmen will come back for at least one more year, and the transfer portal will yield a great player again like Mitchell.
Yeah, that's kind of what we wanted. That's one of the things we want to talk about is where do we go from here, and less about the game, but more about what happens now. We've got a couple on the text machine, Cathy. Jennifer is watching, and she said, "OMG, I was nervous. I watched the whole game and thought about what else I could be doing. They looked like they never played basketball before." Sometimes, yeah, they kind of look like that. So many mistakes. I mean, that was the thing, right? When they were, if you kind of saw the second half, that's what the second half was like. It was like every time we'd get, it's like we were right there.
Yeah.
And then just something really stupid and weird, like,
Yeah.
really weird, just tight nerves.
So can I ask you something without triggering you?
Yeah.
Okay, so when things like that happen, is that because of the players, just their age, or just lack of experience at this level?
I think that lack of experience has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
Or, I mean, how is that a coach thing?
You've got to get, well, he's done this before.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of freshmen in 2012.
Yeah.
They managed to do it. You've got to get them in the right head space
Yeah,
to handle that pressure that they're going to be under.
yeah.
I don't think at all that they were. And here's one point that I was going to talk about later. He says every year that the SEC tournament does not matter. I think last night is why it matters. That's tournament basketball on a big stage with crowd going crazy, and you don't want to be there, and they know you don't want to be there, and you don't care, and you like to get bounced in the first round of that. So you do it. So instead of going into this big tournament confident, having played tournament basketball, won tournament games, feeling good about yourself, instead you get manhandled by A&M, and that's the last taste you've got in your mouth. Is we got thrown around like little boys. Are we that good? And then you sit on that for a week.
Yeah.
Because you only played one game, so now you sit around for a week thinking about not feeling that good about yourself, and then you go into this game tight as anything.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that a coach factors in. But it is on both for sure. Yeah. But, it's his job to make sure they're ready to handle that pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And Wilma's watching. Good morning, Scott and Cathy.
Ah.
And Scott, you did a good job on your haircut. Thanks.
Hey.
Thanks. It was dicey, let me tell you, because this was after the game, so it could have been. It could have been.
I forgot. We've talked about this. Do you use like the Flowbee?
I don't use a Flowbee. I've got the shears and some scissors, and that's what we do.
Okay.
So if anybody wants this haircut, I can do it. Like, if you went into the barbershop and they got kind of like you choose the haircut you want, I've got one picture, and it's this. Okay. And if you want that, I can do it.
Okay.
But otherwise, that's all. Okay, you guys keep sending in any thoughts you have. I think maybe Harvey will join us. We'll talk more basketball, whether he does or not, a little bit. I've got some thoughts to get off my chest, but let's jump into the community calendar.
Let's do it.
In today's fast-paced housing market, you need realtors with experience who understand that timing is essential when finding the perfect home for the right price. Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher are here to ensure that you and your family have a positive experience from start to finish.
Real estate is what we do,
and families are why we do it.
Meet Jeff and Abby, your compass in the new age of advertising. Your guide on the trail to new business. Because these days, you need a guide. Your customers are spread out everywhere, and you need to be able to reach them anywhere. On the internet, on cable, on streaming services. Wherever they are, we are. Let Jeff and Abby make the perfect custom plan for your business and your budget. FPB Advertising, we're everywhere. Contact us and talk to Jeff or Abby today.
Okay, Cathy, we got a Linda Ronstadt tribute.
Woo-hoo.
Are you a big Linda Ronstadt fan?
I'm a big fan, actually.
Friday, March 22nd, tonight, 7:30 p.m. at the Grand Theater. American Idol star Tristan McIntosh is the one that does it, and she's got a great, superb backing band. So, you get to hear all the hits. You're No Good. You're no good. You're no good. That's right. When Will I Be Loved? That'll be the day. Blue Bayou and many more classic hits. So you can check with the Grand Theater and see if they still have tickets to that. I'd be surprised if they do, but maybe they do. Legos?
Lego Build-A-Thon. This is happening at Paul Sawyer Public Library in the Youth Program Room tomorrow, 11 to 12. Follow fun challenge prompts. Or use your own imagination to build a Lego creation. All ages are welcome and registration is not required. So go play with some Legos tomorrow.
We've got Women at War. This is tomorrow, the March 23rd from 11 to noon. The Kentucky Historical Society explore women's role in Kentucky's military history. So they will meet at the Kentucky Military History Museum on East Main Street. General admission, and it's free for KHS members.
All right, if you like Romeo and Juliet, check out the Met Opera, Romeo et Juliet, tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the Grand Theater. This is Shakespeare's timeless tale. The star-crossed lovers will be performed by the Met Opera and beamed in to the Grand Theater.
All right, Gardens Alive, organic gardening. Saturday, March 23rd from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. At Wilson Nurseries on the East-West Connector. Organic farmer Max Stone of Elmwood Stock Farm is going to share his lifetime of gardening and farming expertise and inspire you to grow your own healthy food. Admission is $10 to that one.
All right. Don't forget about the Easter egg hunt happening tomorrow. We had Sherry Sebastian and the Easter Bunny on Wednesday to talk about this event happening tomorrow at 1 o'clock. at Lakeview Park. It's a free event. They're going to have refreshments, and all the proceeds from the refreshments go to the Frankfort High Athletics. You can pre-register your children and the age-appropriate groups at franklincounty.ky.gov.
How about the Check Me Out program? Saturday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Fido Court with Lifehouse's Check Me Out program. You have the opportunity to check out one of their dog guests for a few hours, and it's no cost to you, no appointment needed. Just show up, and the Lifehouse Animals will provide you with the supplies you need to take a doggo out for some fun. So that's great.
So check them out.
Check them out.
All right. We got the Capital City Scavenger Hunt happening tomorrow, 5 to 7:30 starting at the Brick Alley down St. Clair. Join folks in downtown Frankfort for this scavenger hunt. It's going to be lots of fun. 2 people per team. You can pick your partner, or you can be paired up with somebody else that they'll fix you with. Launch and return places are, again, at the Brick Alley. And then it's followed by an after party that you don't want to miss. Springtime
Science at the library in the youth program room Monday, March 25th from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Kids in grades K through 2 examine the science of Mother Nature. Registration not required for that one.
Okay. Family felt flower making is happening at the Paul Sawyer Public Library.
That's cool.
It's very cool. In the youth program room. That's going to be on Monday from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Celebrate the beauty of spring. And those are handmade flowers of felt. Families with kids of all ages are welcome. And again, registration is not required for that. So go at 6:30.
I feel like my wife would like that a lot.
I know, it's very cool.
There's absolutely no way that my 3-year-old has the patience for that right now. How about this?
Okay.
We got a Pet of the Week segment.
Yeah.
And after that, we're going to bring in Harvey, okay?
Okay.
So if you want to adopt a dog but just aren't able to commit, our neighbors, the Franklin County Humane Society, are offering a couple of free solutions fostering dogs and puppies or taking them for a dog day out. Dog caretaker Amanda Carmack tells us more.
Hi everybody, Amanda here again at the Franklin County Humane Society, and today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about fostering. We have a foster program where you can come, and if you're thinking about maybe getting a dog but you're not really sure, you can come through and check out the dogs that we have, and if you see one you like and you're not sure about it or how it might get along in your home, you can take that dog home for a few days and see how it works out, and if it works out, great, then you can adopt, and if not, then we will gladly let them come back. I think a lot of people maybe think that it makes them feel like they're being abandoned again or they're not wanted, but this place, we try to make it like their home. When they come in, we try to love them like they've never been loved before, and it is like their home. So when they come back, they're all really happy to see everybody here that works with them, and it's good for them to get out for a few days. Puppies are great to try to find a foster for, because although we love them here at the shelter, we have so many other dogs that we really don't have a lot of time one-on-one to spend with them. Also, if you have a small child that's begging you for a dog and you just want to kind of know how responsible they're going to be with it, feel free to come and take one of ours. We have a lot of dogs here that are really, really great dogs, good temperaments, good with kids, other animals. But just come and take a dog and take it home and let your kids see how they're going to have to clean up the messes and feed them and take them out. And if it works out and it's a match, then you can adopt. If not, you can bring it back and just let the kid wait a little longer. We're also going to start implementing a doggy day out. It's kind of like when you go to the library and check a book out. It's the same thing with a dog. We're open 6 days a week. Tuesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. On Sundays, we're open from 12 to 4, and Mondays we're closed. So if you were interested in doing the doggy day out, we would have you come at 12 when we open. You could go through the kennels, look at the dogs, see one that you might be interested in, and just take it out of the shelter for a few hours. And at the end of the day, bring them back, and they had a great day outside. Say you're going to Cove Springs and you don't have a dog and you wish you had one, they would love that. So it really does help a lot. And for the ones that have been here for a while, it's really good, and it really helps to get them adopted once they get out for a little bit. Even just a few hours helps tremendously. The Humane Society would provide everything you would need. You would not have any expenses to pay. We would provide you with food, bowls if you needed, harness, leash, collar, all the things. You wouldn't be out anything except for a little love and time with a dog.
For more information, you can always visit the Humane Society's website at fchsanimals.org. Cathy,
Yes.
We're not going to be on, we got no shows next week.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is, tell me.
'Tis the season, and that is election season. Some call it silly season. But it's that time of year again, and we're going to be talking to candidates who are on the ballot this spring in the primary who have a primary candidate. And as always, we're asking our viewers, do you have questions for these candidates? Things that are important to you, that are important to this community, that you would like to hear answers from for our candidates. So the ones we're going to be talking to coming up for the primary are candidates for PVA, candidates for jailer, and candidates for the State House in Districts 56 and 57. So if you have questions and you're like, oh, I don't want to ask a question, yeah, it's okay. You can just email us and we'll ask it for you. So you can send your questions to cable10, that's cable10 at fewpb.com. And we won't say who asked the questions. We'll just put them in the pool of questions that we have for these candidates so we can see what their answers are and hear directly from them how they are going to make our community better. So thank you. Please do that.
My question I submit is, should we have a new coach? No, I'm joking. Hey, Harvey's here.
Harvey's here.
Hi.
Hi,
So-
way over there.
Here's how this is going to go. I've got the text machine right next to me. Cathy's monitoring Facebook. If at
Yes,
any point you
I can
all
do
have
that.
thoughts about anything we talk about, send them. We'll include you in this conversation. Harvey, we talked last night, on text a little bit. I want to do it this way. So kind of while you were gone, Cathy and I talked a little bit about the game.
Okay.
I want to talk less about the game because we all saw what happened, and you can have various views on why that may have happened. If you want to really get some off your chest, feel free about the game.
Okay.
But I don't want to just revel in it. But the first question I've got is, how bad is it right now? And I want us to be honest. Kentucky fans can overreact, certainly. My answer to this would be, you all can bounce off this. My opinion is this is historically bad. The last 4 years have been historically bad, just by the numbers. One win in each tournament, SEC and NCAA, in the past 4 years, one win, one in each. Lost to a 14 seed, lost to a 15 seed. How many first-round losses do you think Tubby Smith had?
I don't think he had any.
That's correct. He had 0 first-round losses. His last 2 years, he got beat by a 1 seed in the second round, last 2 years, and people ran him out. Yeah, this is time to go.
Well, I mean, they were 8 seeds, so that's not great.
That's right. That's not. It's not. And he had the name 10 Lost Tubby. Everybody called him 10 Lost Tubby.
Right.
If we remember a couple years ago, we wondered if Cal was going to be 10 win Cal, if we were going to even get to that point. These 4 years have been worse than any 4 years of the Tubby era.
Yeah, it's not good. It's bad. I mean, the Gillespie years were pretty awful too, because it was such a rapid decline. You know, it was just a crash.
And infighting.
Well, so that's the one thing I've been thinking about a little bit today about, because I like Calipari as a person. I think he's a good man. And I think we should be proud.
Disagree with that.
And I think we should be proud of having a coach who you can be proud of, like how he behaves.
And he gave you one of the best eras in this program's history. Also, he's been historically bad, but he was also historically good.
Yeah, and so I think that's maybe. I mean, it's bad, but I think you can take some solace in the fact that you have I think a man of integrity leading the program.
Yeah.
I think the kids that he's brought in almost, across the board have been good kids. And so I think you get some credit for that, and that doesn't change where the things are today. But performance-wise on the court, the last 4 years have been, I think you're probably right, historically bad. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Okay, first of all, what would it take? I mean, because the guy on Facebook last night, time for him to go. Okay. Okay.
So that's my next question is,
Yeah.
do we need a change? Go ahead.
So, I mean, what would that entail?
All right. So
Like how is it better? Like how do you make it better? Like
Yeah,
what's
well,
the
first of all, I mean, how do you just get rid of him?
So let's go into that. So first of all, in the last few seconds of the game, I got texts from 2 family members, 3 good friends, one of whom might be at the desk right now, that said he's gone. And I said to all of them, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it boils down to this.
Yeah, my husband said his head would be on a spike in Lexington tomorrow.
So my answer to them is yes. I think it's done. I think this needs to be done. In my opinion,
Yeah.
I think it's run its course. Harvey's a big fan of European soccer. European soccer coaches last.
a few years.
They rotate.
Yeah.
Because it's so much intensity, so much attention to those.
And I think Calipari even had that coming in. He knew that this was a 10-year job.
He said 10-year job. He said
Right.
Joe B. Hall told me 10-year job. And for somewhere along the line, he's changed his mind. So it boils down to this on whether you can get rid of him or not. To me, Cal is not going to walk away from $9 million a year. That's not who he is.
Right.
He's not going to walk away from it. So then you're left with, can you buy him out? It's $34 million. So then you're down to who can pay it. You can make the phone call to the Crafts, and that's it. You can call Joe and Kelly, and you can say, the question is, are they invested enough in basketball right now that they want him to be gone bad enough to pay $34 million?
Well, it's also hard to say, like, what else could that money be spent on?
Exactly.
Even in the athletic program, in basketball or football.
Yeah.
So
and they're football people now. They don't care so much about basketball.
So I can't remember. Does he have a lifetime contract?
He does.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
I mean, a lifetime contract. There is an amount of years on it.
Right. So, at what point do you hold Mitch Barnhart responsible for doing that?
He is on the hook, and people say he had to do what he had to do because you could not let him go coming off. It was the 2015 year. You came off that 2015 year when you went 38-0, and then losing the Final Four, and UCLA came after him, and he used it for leverage to get more money and to get this big long contract. And they said you just couldn't let him walk out the door because it would have been too much of a PR hit, and fans would have went crazy. I don't know. I feel like if I was in that spot and he wanted to go, I would have been like, good luck to you. Do you really want to leave this job? And if you do, then...
Yeah.
But that's a tough call. I mean, he wasn't a spot.
I have a question because I missed it last night. So, like in the do post-game interviews and did Coach Cal participate?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said
we're young.
He said the Cal things.
Yeah.
He said He said he said that was basically the worst. It hit him worse than any game he's ever lost.
Yeah.
So he looked like it. He was clearly
because he knows his.
Well, I mean,
and
I think he felt like this team had a chance to do something,
right,
and they clearly didn't.
Right.
He was down, but he didn't sound like he was ready to walk away.
Yeah.
He said we got a good class coming in next year.
Coming in,
and these kids are great. He's basically he says I just feel bad for the kids, and I honestly believe him that he does.
Yeah.
So tell me, go ahead.
So then I have a question about him as a coach. Because again, it has been a disaster the last 4 years. But if you look at his track record, I mean, he produces good basketball players.
Yeah.
Kentucky has so many players in the NBA. How does that happen?
Well, that's the indictment, right? And that's what people are starting to point at more and more. And every year you go and you don't produce results in March, and you say, look at all the talent you had, and you produced one championship. Same as Tubby. Tubby's got one championship, and you had a lot more talent, and you never got. And when he came in, he was talking about things like chasing UCLA's title number, and you never came close to it. And this seemed like the year to me that if he was going to have a second act, it would start this year. And he entered the year with giving you the possibility, because he did make changes. I was not sure he could.
Yeah.
He changed his style, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, we have a question from Facebook.
Okay.
This is from Jolene. If you asked him, though, oh crap, I just lost it. It went away.
Well, I'll finish your question.
Okay.
If you asked him, who are you bringing in?
If you asked him, though, what about the recruits and players that want to play for him?
Yeah, they're all
and
gone.
that we're planning on another year.
Yeah, they're all gone.
They're all gone.
Your roster's totally gone.
But
If he leaves.
okay.
we're living in a different era, because if he leaves in 2015, then you're decimated, and you got to spend years rebuilding. You do it now, and you bring in Scott Drew or whoever. It's the transfer portal. You're back up and running year one.
Okay.
It's not the same as it used to be. Thank goodness, because whenever he left before, it was going to be a rebuilding, issue.
Okay, can I ask you this sore subject? Another thing that I saw quite a deal of on Facebook last night. The possibility of bringing back Patino?
No, I mean, I saw that too. I saw some people say that. It's insanity. I'm sorry, people. And I said,
Look, okay, I'm not advocating for this because I don't. But why not? Who do you think
He's
Barnhart
so
wouldn't do that?
old.
He's too old to do it.
no,
Like, you know?
Barnhart would never, ever do it. It's not a possibility because of the AD you got.
Yeah. Okay.
And people talk about, what things would have been so
It
great.
would have been fun. It would be funny though.
Yeah, because he likes to say, and he just went on an interview and he said, if I hadn't left, I wish I
Right.
hadn't left.
Right.
And then people were saying, if he hadn't left, we'd have. I don't think so. Like,
No.
I was done with him when he
No.
left.
Yeah.
It was every year. It was
He's had
chasing.
a lot of hard times since he left.
Yeah,
that we
right.
wouldn't want to
Why
be
wouldn't
associated with.
exactly? Why wouldn't that have been here?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're running out of time.
Okay.
Let me ask you all one last question.
Okay.
So it's my opinion that even though I think it's run its course, and I would like him to be gone. So in the light of mourning, do you think he's here next year?
I mean, am I making a prediction about whether he will return?
Yeah.
I think it's more likely than not that he will. I really don't think that's a good idea because I think it will be toxic.
Very.
And I'm worried
Agree.
that I think if he left now, he could still be loved here, even with it may take a little bit of time. But that the people would, when he came back, there would be, love and support for Calipari. I worry that if he comes back and he's just cashing a check and they continue to struggle, it's just they're gonna be booing him at the games. I mean, that's just not good.
Yeah, and he the way he is, it's gonna be like this.
Right.
He likes to.
So that's my
He
prediction.
will fight back. I 100% agree with Harvey.
Yeah. Can I just? I want to make one shout out. We do animals a lot on this show. Last night at the end of the game, and I was pretty much like I wasn't upset. Like I wasn't throwing things. I was just like,
Yeah.
here we are. We've done this before.
Yeah.
It's not shocking.
Yeah.
And the dog started kind of freaking out, and she'd get up in my face, and I'm just like, "Go! I don't need you.
She was picking
Go
up
away."
on it,
And Rachel's like, "No, she totally realizes that you
You're
are upset, and
Yeah.
she's trying to settle you."
Yeah.
So that's why we love puppies.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway,
Well, there you go. Yeah, I think he's got a chance to step away, and I love you guys. It was a great run. Sorry, last few years weren't what we wanted it to be, and then we'd be all good.
do you think can he just? Not even like. Would he have to take another job, or do you think he could actually just be like, "I'm done. This was a good
don't
run."
think
He doesn't
Anyway.
have it in him.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
He
way.
should, and he
Yeah.
should take that $1 million and be our ambassador, and it would be all roses.
Yeah.
But he's not going to do it.
No.
And so, yikes, what could it be? We don't know. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Do that. Search for Cable 10 on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Hit the
Right
bell
there it is.
so you get notified.
Hit the notifications bell. If you have any questions,
It makes
comments,
that
or you
sound when you hit it. It goes. Yeah.
Oh, so that's fun. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to share your community event, contact us at cable10@fewpb.com or send it to the text machine. And if you love the show, give us a 5-star review right there on Google. Thanks to our guests, Jeri, Cathy, and Howell, and the mayor, and
Harvey.
Yep.
I mean,
Harvey.
heavy. Talk about an all-star lineup on a Friday
man.
before a break.
Thanks to Brett, and who's on vacation, so no thanks.
Thanks, but no thanks. Brett.
Papa and David and Zach for their production work on the episode today. Find something to do, you guys, other than I can't watch basketball. Maybe you all can. Good
Go out
on
and
you.
see all the school plays this
There
weekend.
you go.
Everybody's
There you
doing one.
We'll be back in a week, not next week. We're doing the Meet the Candidates. So remember, we'll see you a week from now. I hope you guys have a great week somehow. Remember, if it happens around town,
it's on around 10.
Around 10 is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. You need realtors who can help navigate the current fast-paced real estate market, so choose local realtors that treat you like family, because real estate is what they do and families are why they do it.